Yeah, so really, really happy, for our guys and our fans, for, the victory tonight. I thought our guys, got off to a good start, certainly offensively, and it was back and forth, throughout the first half. And, getting to halftime, we weren't pleased, with the defensive intensity and the disruption. The theme of the game for us was, disrupt with discipline. And clearly, when you're getting to the free throw line as many times as they did in the first half, and they are really, really good at that. Avila drew 6 fouls, in the first half. And that's too many. We have to be more disciplined when he enters, the paint. And he wasn't the only one. And so that put some pressure on us to continue to score offensively, and thankfully our guys were pretty good, in that first half. And the guys understood when we came in at halftime. It's like we've got to turn this up and begin to try to wear them down and pick our spots and do it in a very disciplined way. And I think in the second half, limited the fouls, continued to offensive rebound. Eventually got some turnovers and run-outs, which allowed us to get, into our press again, and it was kind of the cumulative effect. But, all in all, a really good win for us. It's a good team, a well-coached team, over there at St. Louis, and we have a ton of respect for Coach Schertz and, what they're doing, right now with their team. They're tough and play the game the right way. So, good win.
We can expect 22 offensive boards every night now?
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to have 22, right? And the key is, are we going, right? And that's what our guys are measured on. They're graded on, are they giving the effort every time? And sometimes you're gonna get 22. Sometimes you're gonna get 10. Well, maybe 10's all you need, in a game. And so, we've had a good run here, of collecting offensive rebounds, certainly.
They have a relatively short rotation. Your bench outscored them 26-2. How key was your depth tonight, especially Brandon in that second half?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon obviously, wasn't his game last game, right? And that's how our team is. It's tough when, you're the other team's point guard and you have multiple guys coming at you, defensively, that we can rotate through. It's not easy to deal with. And certainly their point guard is elite. And Jemerson's elite, Ava's elite, and the other guys fit in really well, with how they play. But I thought our bench certainly was key. We have to use our bench in the right way, and certainly Brandon, it was his night tonight. I thought Bell gave us good minutes. Firm certainly was great, from my perspective and our teams. He gave us good minutes as well.
You mentioned that just kind of every night it can be somebody's night. How is that as a coach? Is that frustrating to not know who it is, encouraging to know somebody's going to get it?
No, I think what it is it's, certainly we have, leading scorers and we have guys that, do this. It's more about fitting into your role, right? And what one person's role and how one person impacts the game isn't necessarily equal to what somebody else does in terms of the things that they do, right? Brandon just happened to score some baskets, from behind the arc today, but that wasn't how he impacted the game. He impacted the game with his defense, his rebounding in the first half, and that got him going. He shoots every single day, like all of our guys do, in terms of working on their game and trying to improve, on the things that they need to improve upon. And certainly, tonight, he was confident, on down to the last one he took. And we're certainly glad that it went in the basket for us. And certainly Jack had some too, tonight, from behind the arc.
Congratulations on the win, Coach. And to piggyback to that follow-up question about Jack, what was your thoughts on Jack's performance tonight?
I thought he had a great game. He did a nice job. Avila's not easy to guard, right? And you can't guard him with one guy. And they put him in really good spots, where he can be himself. And I thought Jack did a nice job of keeping him off balance and on down to the last play where Zeb gets switched on him. And he's seeing different guys, right? And Zeb steals it because he's quicker, right? And so you have to keep him off balance as best you can, but what you can't do is foul him at the rim, like we did too many times in the first half. And so we got away from that. He didn't get in there quite as much, maybe early in the first half, but they weren't in the bonus until late.
You talked yesterday about having gratitude for the environment and atmosphere here,
Yeah.
Contrasting to what it was like last Wednesday. How big was that for the guys to be able to feed off the crowd again?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we have one of the best crowds in the country, and certainly when we're all here and together, and it's electric like it was tonight. It's really fun to be a part of, and so our guys appreciate all that our fans do for us, the administration, certainly the folks that work extra like the Peppas and the cheer squads, and everybody that plays a role. In helping this go off, right? Night in and night out. Even, the folks at, RMC, right? Like, it's important. Everybody has a role. You guys have a role out here. It's full in here tonight, which is great. We like that.
41% from behind the arc in the first half today. How important is, shooting at that efficient clip just to start the game early and getting you guys a lead?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't shot it great yet this year, really. I mean, we feel like we have really good shooters. It's trying to get the clean looks, right? Phil had several tonight that didn't go down that he's been making. Max, his first shot, was kind of weird. But we are confident in the guys, and certainly it helps, right? I mean, we made 10, they made 9. It's like they seek these threes and they seek the rim, and we try to do our best to limit those, right? In the first half, we played the zone, on the second to last play, and would have liked to have seen us run them off of that shot, and then on down to the last one. I would have liked to see him running off that last shot too, and not let him just lock and load it. And I think in the second half, those became more contested.
And Coach, Phil didn't really have the best scoring night tonight. How do you think he helped impact the game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he impacts every game that we play, right? When he's available and out there, he had early foul trouble at the beginning of the season, down in Charleston. But since then, he's done a nice job. I think he had 4 at St. Bonaventure, but was able to finish the game and had a great game up there, obviously. I think, tonight he handles the ball, he passes the ball. He didn't make all of his shots tonight, but, it's going to happen, from time to time. And that's where, a true team comes into play, right? When one guy doesn't have it, the next guy, steps up and does what he can do. Joe has had 2 really good games in a row, for us. Like the last game, really balanced game for him. I think he had 6-7 rebounds or something like that, and 18 points or whatever. He gets 23 tonight. Like he's playing like a veteran should play, and it's really good to see.
You keep these games in a different context than we do or the fans do. This was, they were undefeated in conference, a lot of eyes on this game, and you guys came out and played maybe arguably one of your best games of the year so far. How do you guys keep games like this in context, and how do you let them enjoy it, and how do you move to the next one?
Well, you're playing certain teams twice, right? So this is just the first matchup, right? And obviously we were able to get the first matchup. Some teams you're not playing twice, and they're really important games. And it's just the way the league is set up. And so every game matters. We put everything we have into every game that we play. There's an expectation to win. Every time that we step out on the court. And so you don't really separate, one game from another. And obviously it does, sometimes it means a little bit more. There's more talk about it, right? But in terms of once that ball goes up, it's competitive, right? Every time that we step on the court. And, when our guys aren't competitive, we have to let them know about it. And we have to fix it. And, we've got a really tough league. We started out 2 on the road and split those, and then now we've got 2. We had 2 at home. Now we got 2 more, on the road. We have a very hard stretch, right now, St. Joe's, the next opponent, is a really good team. Have a lot of guys back and excellent at home. That's going to be a hard game, and we've got to be ready to go. We've got to quickly. They're waiting on us. They haven't had a game. They're not going to have a game until us, and so, we're going to have to, get our guys recharged, get our guys focused, get our guys situated from a scouting report perspective and game plan perspective, and get ready.
Just from a conference overall perspective, 4 games in, everybody's got a loss now. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the teams on tape. Do you feel kind of compelled to go to bat for the conference and let people know just how?
It's definitely deeper. It's better than it's been. I wasn't here 2 years ago or 3 years ago for that matter, so I don't know. But I do believe in the teams. I believe in the coaches. I believe in the conference, and it's you can look at the scores and tell it's very competitive right now. And some teams that maybe didn't have stellar non-conference are coming in and playing well to start out. And it's always going to be hard. It doesn't matter what conference you're in. It's always going to be hard to win on the road. And some years it's hard to take care of business at home, because the talent and the coaching's so good.
27 points off of 19 St. Louis turnovers. What was
Yeah.
the key defensively to one of your more disruptive performances of the season?
Just being disruptive, but doing it with discipline, right? Sometimes you can get, I don't know what the word is, but you can get enamored, with stealing the ball, right? And you can start to take chances, that you shouldn't be taking, and you have to be smart, out there. And so we're coaching our guys on being very disciplined, all right, with the risks that they take, and doing it in a way where they're not fouling, and getting other teams to the free throw line quickly, and that certainly is part of the game plan every game. It's to put sustained pressure on the other team, without leaking baskets, and we've had that at times where we've, given up some easy baskets, versus our press, and we've had to, change what we were doing a little bit. But, tonight we weren't trapping, we weren't doing any of that. It was just like we're up there, we're guarding.
Anything else, Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.